Hi guys, welcome to Simply Scuba. Here we have the Metalsub XRE 1250 torch. So this is a decent sized primary dive light, plenty of light, and in a rugged body. So here we can see the box that it comes in. So as you can obviously see, it comes in one of these sort of semi-rigid cases that you can either use to store it and transport it and all its sort of accessories, or of course you can repurpose it if you really wanted to. Nice box. They've done a good job on this. Is that sort of semi-rigid stuff, so it can protect it from sort of crushing, and it looks good. So two-way zipper just to get into it, and then inside, obviously, book of words that tells you sort of what to do, what not to do, and all its kind of specifications. We have a wrist lanyard that you can thread onto the torch. Always recommended, just in case you drop it. We have one of the cigarette lighter for your car chargers. So if you're at a dive site and you need to recharge the battery, plug it into your car and that will help juice it up. We do have this is the battery pack, comes in this storage canister. So that's just a two-part sort of plastic job, and the batteries, as far as I can tell, doesn't really matter which way you put them in, which is quite a nice feature. There's no sort of plus or minus. It seems to go in either way. I'll fit that to the torch in a second so you can see what it's like. I'll show you the torch in a second. We have the recharging cradle, so you just charge the torch just by sort of plonking it in the top, and that's going to recharge it. So there's no like USB cables, you don't have to undo anything, you don't have to risk the seal. It just kind of, if you're using it day in, day out, you can leave that in a certain place and just recharge it as you need to, which is quite a nice feature. And a UK charging port, sort of plug that in and away you go. So yes, the torch itself, you can remove that foam insert, so you definitely have a decent sized box if you want to repurpose that for any reason. Okay, so recharging fitting the battery to the torch, unscrew the back end of it, and that's got a single O-ring seal in there. Battery goes in, and then screw that closed. Just make sure you don't cross thread it, obviously, and there's nothing wrong with that sort of internal O-ring. So moving from top to tail, so we've got the LED in the front, so that's producing 1250 lumens of bright and white light in a tight sort of 10-degree spotlight, which is really is sort of par for the course for a traditional primary torch. It's tight enough that it can penetrate through murky water, and you can kind of signal, but you're not going to be blinding everyone around. If you want a light for sort of photos and videos, then go get a floodlight. This is more of a spotlight, so you can focus on one thing. Rubber ring just around the front, sort of top end, so when you're putting it down, it's less likely to sort of damage the body of the torch. Body of the torch is anodized aluminium, which is very, very strong. It's fairly light despite its size, and it's corrosion resistant, so you don't have to worry about sort of rusting. I actually had a chap, he came in and he found a Metalsub torch on the bottom of the ocean. Lord knows how long it'd been there, but it still worked, and yeah, it had no corrosion on it, so very good anodizing. Single button, that's how you activate the torch. Around that, you've got a clear plastic section. That's the battery level indicator, lets you know how much battery life you have left in the tank. Moving down that, we've got this sort of tough rubber section ring around here, which has got a bit of a loop in it for your lanyard, so you can attach a bolt snap or whatever you want onto that, and that's pretty tough. It's not soft silicone. It's not sort of moving around. Yeah, it's pretty tough. And then onto the end, this feels like Delrin or some kind of plastic with an O-ring around it, probably for a bit of grip. And then we have the contact on the back so that you can sort of recharge it. So switching it on, hold the button down for about 2 or 3 seconds and it switches on, so fairly bright lights. This is really about as bright as I like a primary torch, especially in sort of blue waters. Anything much brighter than 1,000 lumens are going to start just blinding yourself and everyone else around you. So 1200 is quite high. Right now you can see that around the button the light has gone red, so that just means that we're sort of running low on battery power. And after a certain point, it's going to start dimming itself automatically to try and prolong the battery life. But as you press that button, you can see it kind of dials it down. Keep going and it'll dial it back up again. Hold the button down and that will switch it off. So yeah, all in all, it's the perfect size for a primary torch. This is about exactly the size of a primary torch that I look for. The brightness is quite good, and the kind of user interface very quick and easy. One thing I will note, sort of reading through the manual, is that you have to be careful with the batteries. Don't let them discharge completely, because otherwise they just won't recharge. So if you're storing it for any length of period, just visit it about once every 3 months and just top it up, and that just means that it will last for years and years. Try to avoid letting the batteries die completely. But other than that, yeah, it ticks all the boxes. It's a decent size, it's strong, it feels robust. There's no kind of rattly sort of bits on the inside. The recharging is quick and easy. You just sort of plonk it in that cradle, so you don't have to worry about compromising that seal on the inside. Yeah, I definitely like it. This is the Metalsub XRE 1250 dive light. Thanks for watching and safe diving.
We are an online dive store serving the UK and the world for all your diving equipment needs. So why not visit us at simplyscuba.com or click the box on your screen.